Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth from Elpis Astrology at elpisastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. So today I am going to do my take on the astrology for February 2023. So we start off on the 5th of February with our first full moon. And the full moon will be in dramatic Leo at 16 Leo, 40 minutes, and that's at 10:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The big thing that happens is that this, of course, at a full moon, the moon will be in Leo, and then in the opposite sign of Aquarius, we will have the sun. So we have a square being formed here with, surprise a minute, Uranus. That's the big thing that surrounds this full moon. And so I just saw this as some kind of big, dramatic, maybe more than one gesture of some sort. Now, on an individual basis, if you've got something, say, around, say, an ascendant or a sun, around the 16-degree mark of Leo, that square with Uranus could bring in some kind of sudden, like a sudden break up in a love partnership, because Leo rules that. It can also bring some kind of big change your way. I mean, we always seem to associate squares with challenges and real difficulties. And for sure, the direct translation of that is that they're challenges. But when I saw this, because Leo is all about, creativity and potentially some drama, and living life large, taking risks in loving the person that you want to love and not being afraid to go after your love. I don't know. I saw this more as a collective big surprise regarding somebody. Now, Leo can rule royalty and the rich and famous. So it could be that some surprising coupling comes up around this full moon in Leo. So that's kind of what I translated after kind of meditating on it. But certainly we can take it down to brass tacks and say that it's a square. So if you have something around the 16, 17-degree mark of Leo, there may be some surprises. And I would say unexpected surprises. But I don't think it has to be bad. Because Leo is very much a sign of true love and creativity. I just saw there might be some breakthroughs with regards to some kind of creativity of some sort. Okay. The other thing that the sun and moon do is they trine a now direct Mars, still in Gemini. And so this says forward movement, especially with regards to communications, right? So this, on an individual level, it might be some folks get the green light to start a writing project or to start some kind of communications are initiated, that you're able to do that at this time. It can, for others, bring something to a conclusion because this is a full moon. But it could just as easily, because of the Mars retrograde and the Mercury retrograde that we had in January, this could just as easily be, like, as I said, even though it's a full moon, it's an ending of the delays that we had in January, and we can now move forward with our communications. This would include, signing contracts, all sorts of things like that. Everything starts happening, right? Now, I know we still have to have Mars and Mercury come out of shadow, but the benefit is that we can feel the energy moving forward here. The other thing that happens at this full moon is we have a lovely sextile between Mercury and Neptune. And so this feeds into that whole thing I spoke about at the beginning, which is creativity. I see this as an opportunity to dream, to create very inspirational music or poetry. It could be writing too, for that matter. So this is all around this full moon. I think this full moon is going to bring, on an individual basis, some surprising opportunities to be highly creative and to be really inspired by them. And in fact, there may be some folks that deliver some truly inspirational messages to the public. All right, the 9th of February, we have Venus sextiling Uranus. These are just opportunities to fall in love, instantly. Uranus will be giving Venus opportunities to instantly fall in love, to come into money unexpectedly. So Uranus has the unexpected, surprising, sometimes shocking energy, and Venus rules things like money. It rules our values too. It rules females, and it also rules love. So all those areas could be up for some folks for some kind of surprising opportunity. That's the 9th of Feb. The 10th of February, we have Mercury conjuncting Pluto. And a direct translation of this is very powerful messages. And I see that this is going to be probably government officials, like in the collective here, delivering some powerful message of some sort, or maybe more than one government doing that. It can also be a time when things are uncovered. So Pluto can represent, secrets and the underworld. So this could bring to light, shed some real light on some kind of secret that has been going on behind the scenes. Maybe even some secrets with government officials that are brought to light at this time. On an individual level, this could have some folks writing or communicating very powerfully at this time. I guess the only caution would be, be careful with the intensity of your words, because you're going to be more prone to have intense thoughts, as well as wanting to speak in a powerful way. Just make sure they're not attached to something that makes people feel very uncomfortable, right? On the 16th of February, we have Venus conjunct Neptune at 24 degrees of Pisces. Well, this is just a tremendously romantic day. If you want to, speak some sweet nothings to your loved one, this is it. For other folks, you may meet your soulmate this day. That's what Venus conjunct Neptune is. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, so together they're vibrating at a very high level from a love standpoint, right? It's also great compassion. Others may be feeling that, great compassion for people. On the 18th of February, we have Mercury sextiling Jupiter, which is at 9 degrees of Aries. So with Mercury being at 9 degrees of Aquarius, sextiling that Jupiter, this is just opportunities to get our messages out there. I thought too, also with the Mercury in Aquarius, I thought literally this is messages from potentially outer space, some new discovery of some sort. Yeah, that was a direct intuitive hit for me. All right, so our new moon in February 2023 will be at 0 Pisces, 22 minutes on the 19th of February at 11:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will have the sun and the moon, because at a new moon, both of them are together, will be conjuncting Saturn, but Saturn is going to be at 28 degrees of Aquarius in a different sign. Doesn't matter. It's still within a couple degrees. So this is adding a level of seriousness to this new moon. But I also thought, because Saturn represents karma in many ways, and so does the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces, so the sign of Pisces, I thought this was kind of like a new start to do with our collective karma. And I think this is going to play out for different people in different ways, but certainly a new moon in Pisces asks us to be very spiritual. So this is our spiritual side of ourselves. It's also great compassion. It's agape love. So the highest love for all the people. And because Aquarius rules people, that's why I got this whole restart of our karma, generally speaking. And that's what I'm getting in this message. Now let's look at what else is going on at this new moon. So, of course, Happy New Year to all my Pisces viewers, because this is your new kickstart to the year. We have Mercury sextiling Chiron, and we have Venus sextiling Pluto at that 29-degree mark. That's important. But because Pluto's at that 29 degrees, Pluto has full power at this time. And so I think that ties in nicely with what I just spoke about and our collective karma. I think this Venus sextiling Pluto at 29 degrees is a very powerful time for a few things. A powerful time for love, for sure. Transformational love, opportunities. So if you've got something, especially say your own Venus at 29 degrees of Capricorn, this could be a time of true transformation with regards to your love, but it could also be transformation of your money. This 29 degrees is basically laying down the gauntlet of saying this is the final time Pluto will be sextiled by Venus, with Pluto being in Capricorn. And with Pluto at full power here, it's exerting some pretty powerful effects. Now, we could have females be brought in for some major transformation as well, and in terms of an actual event, because this is such a powerful, critical degree of 29 degrees. But it could have us collectively, truly, collectively, changing how we value things, transforming what we value. And certainly I think a lot of us have gone through a better change in our values and what we value and how we value as a result of all this period we had, the pandemic, right? Et al. Okay, I just see this as a lovely new moon, very powerful, powerful changes for karma, collectively as well as individually. And certainly a transformation of our values. And I didn't talk about the Chiron part here with Mercury sextiling. This is good news about our healing and our health. Maybe we'll have some good news coming out in the press or on the internet or on the news regarding healing collectively here. New ways of healing too. That's the other thing this could bring in. All right. The 23rd of February, we have Mercury in Aquarius squaring Uranus. So this is going to say some jarring news of some sort is going to be coming in at this time. Now, it can also bring in messages about the shaking of the earth too, right? Because Uranus being in Taurus can shake literally the earth right at this time. So there could be some not so great news about our earth shaking. That could come in around the 23rd of February too. But just on a general level, it's just some jarring news comes in. Now, Mercury is in Aquarius, so it could be some jarring news comes in from outer space, with all the new things that we have happening up there now. On the 28th of February, we have Saturn going to 29 degrees, but in Aquarius. So we've got Saturn at full power here too. And I think that this is going to be the last sort of couple weeks where Saturn will be in Aquarius, trying to exert its power through, trying to present the old guard in a new way. It's like the emperor isn't wearing any clothes type thing. That's what I got with this lineup. Certainly Saturn is a 30-year cycle, so it's going to be another 30 years once we get to mid-March this year that Saturn will be back in Aquarius. So this I see as a real tie-up. This could signal, I would say, maybe some people in power, some old institutions their final last gasps, where we see the final changes that need to happen with regards to the old guard happening at the end of February here. Because don't forget, mid-March, we will then have Saturn going into lovely, compassionate, dreamy Pisces. And I'll talk more about that in a later video as well. Okay, when we look at March, just to give you a little peek into March, we have our full moon is going to be at 16 degrees of Virgo. Our new moon is going to be at 0 degrees, 50 minutes of Aries. And we will finally have that Mars in Gemini out of shadow. Okay, so I'm going to tie up this video by going into each of your ascendants and or sun signs. All right, Scorpio. So that full moon in Leo is going to be squaring your sign, and it's going to be in the 10th house of career and long-term goals. So this could have you wanting to, for some Scorpios, express your ego, to beat your chest, to roar like a lion. That's going to be there for some Scorpios. And I would say, try to temper that down a little bit. And it may be for some Scorpios that it is time to roar, but try to do it in a way that is palatable to other people, that they hear what you have to say, but that it's not done from arrogance, that standpoint. Okay, that's my only caution here. But you could have some ending in your career. And it may be that you have had your pride hurt so much that you decide to leave a job at this time. And maybe that's a good thing for some Scorpios. But I would just caution to try not to pull too much drama into the workplace at that full moon. If drama does occur in the workplace, I would shy away from it if I were you. And try not to get involved in too much drama. But don't shy away from expressing your authentic self. Just do it through a palatable mode when you're talking to other people. Now, when we look at the Pisces new moon, that trines your sign. And it trines your sign in the 5th house. Awesome stuff here. And so this features the 5th house of true love. Pisces at its highest, when we look at Neptune ruling it, is soulmates. So there's going to be some Scorpios that are given some truly favorable energy with regards to manifesting a true love coming in here as a soulmate. For others, it may be children might be involved here for some reason. A new start with regards to children. I mean, that can literally mean a pregnancy, an arrival of a child. It can also have, for some Scorpios, deciding to start up their own business associated with something to do with spirituality or great compassion. But the 5th house always encourages us to be our authentic selves and to do that creatively. So this could have other Scorpios starting some really cool, inspirational, creative projects. That could be up for some Scorpios at that new moon. Which I'll remind you happens on the 19th of February. Take care, Scorpio. Okay, so that's my wrap up for February 2023. I did just want to mention a couple other things, like as a general energy that's going on in February. So we have Jupiter is in Aries, and it will be in Aries from 8 to 11 degrees of Aries for the month of February. And that will be affecting directly and favorably the fire signs. So I just wanted to remind you of that, and that's a 12-year cycle. So every 12 years we will have Jupiter going into Aries. But it moves fairly quickly. By mid-May, that Jupiter is going to be in Taurus, and then directly affecting it'll affect all signs, but in terms of favorable energy, it'll be the earth signs. So enjoy that, Leos, Sagittarius, and Aries, especially Aries. where you've got that pulsating energy that's asking you to grow and to give you benefits. I think that's important. So by the time we come into March, and I will talk about this in more detail, we're going to have Saturn leaving Aquarius. Yay. And then we're going to have Pluto arriving in Aquarius. So I think that's interesting. And I've made a video about the Pluto going into Aquarius. I'll leave the link down below, and I go into all the ascendants and sun signs as well, should you want to take a listen and a look at that video. All right, I'm sending everyone lots of love. Good luck in wrapping stuff up at the full moon. Let it go. And starting a whole new time for yourself, especially regarding spirituality and compassion, when we have that new moon in Pisces on the 19th of Feb. Take care. Bye for now.